All right, let's talk about 5 habits. Things most of us do every single day without a second thought. But here's a scary thought. What if those simple, everyday choices are actually, silently pushing your body towards a major health crisis? We're going to find out. Okay, first question, right out of the gate. Did you eat breakfast today? Come on, think about it. Was it a real meal, or was it just you, a cup of coffee, and a mad dash for the door? And here's another one for you. What time did you actually go to sleep last night? And be honest with yourself. Was it a decent hour, or were you up scrolling on your phone way, way past midnight? Now, this might sound kinda crazy, but your answers to just those 2 questions, they can paint a surprisingly clear picture of your risk for diabetes down the line. Yeah, really. And you know what? It goes way beyond just breakfast and bedtime. We are about to break down 5 everyday habits that seem totally harmless, but can actually multiply your diabetes risk, get this, up to 5 times. These are the things we all just write off as no big deal. All right, let's dive into number 1, the one so many of us are guilty of, skipping breakfast. I get it, it feels like a simple time saver, right? But what's really happening is you're kicking off a huge stress response inside your body. And the numbers don't lie. If you're regularly skipping breakfast, you're looking at a 1.3 times higher risk of developing diabetes. So the question is, why? What's actually going on in there? Okay, so this is what happens. It's like a roller coaster, really. First, you're basically extending your overnight fast for hours, starving your body. Then boom, you finally eat lunch and your blood sugar just skyrockets. Your body kind of freaks out and releases this massive surge of insulin to deal with it, which then causes a huge crash. And what happens when you crash? You get these insane cravings for sugary foods. And just like that, you're stuck in this terrible cycle. So the takeaway here is super simple. Think of breakfast as your blood sugar shield. It doesn't matter if you're busy or don't feel hungry, that first meal is what protects you from that wild ride all day long. All right, on to habit number 2, which is all about sleeping past the deadline. This one is huge because when we talk about your metabolism, it turns out it's not just about how long you sleep. It's about when you go to sleep. And the difference is just, wow, look at this. If you go to sleep after 1 in the morning, your risk for diabetes is more than 5 times higher than someone who gets to bed before 11 p.m. That is a massive, massive difference. So why? What's the deal? Well, staying up that late just throws your hormones into total chaos. It messes with your melatonin, that's the hormone that signals, hey, it's time to sleep. And that disruption has a direct hit on your insulin, making it way less effective at its job. So really, we need to think about sleep differently. It's not just about resting. Getting to bed early is literally one of the best forms of preventive medicine you can find. Period. Okay, habit number 3, snoring. Yeah, we all kind of laugh about it, right? It's just an annoying noise. But what if it's not? What if it's actually a warning siren your body is trying to sound? Check this out. People who snore a lot have blood sugar levels after a meal that are, on average, 30% higher. That's not a tiny little blip. That's a huge sign that your body is having a tough time processing sugar. And the reason why is actually pretty straightforward. Snoring often means you're not getting enough oxygen when you're asleep. That lack of oxygen puts your body under stress. And just like we saw with bad sleep, that stress makes your insulin less effective. So seriously, if you snore or someone you know does, it's a sound you really need to pay attention to. Now, this one might be the biggest surprise of the bunch. Brushing your teeth. What in the world could that have to do with diabetes? Well, as it turns out, a whole lot, actually. Okay, so this comes from a huge study. We're talking 180,000 people followed for 10 years. And look at this. Brushing 3 times a day? That was linked to an 8% lower risk of diabetes. But having gum disease? That meant a 9% higher risk. That's a 17-point difference, all based on what's happening in your mouth. So here's how it's connected. Nasty bacteria from your gums can actually get into your bloodstream, and when that happens, it causes low-grade inflammation all over your body. That inflammation is a huge driver of insulin resistance. Basically, your cells just start ignoring insulin. So yeah, brushing your teeth, it's way more than just preventing cavities. It's about protecting your whole body. And that brings us to number 5, our final habit, just letting your muscles waste away. It's so easy to think muscles are just for, lifting stuff, but they're actually your body's #1 sugar disposal system. I mean, just look at this. A whopping 70% of the sugar from your blood gets used up by your thigh muscles alone. They're like these giant sponges for sugar. So when those muscles shrink, that whole sugar burning factory, it just kind of shuts down.
So the big idea here is that keeping your muscles strong, and it doesn't take much, a 20-minute walk, 10 squats a day, it's not just about being strong. It's about keeping direct control over your blood sugar.
Okay, so let's run through them one more time. The 5 silent habits spiking your blood sugar: skipping breakfast, sleeping way too late, ignoring that snoring, forgetting about your oral hygiene, and letting your muscles disappear.
So if you heard any of that and thought, hey, that's me, well, this is your moment. Because when we talk about something like diabetes, we really need to be talking about our habits long before we ever have to talk about medicine. At the end of the day, your health isn't some future thing you have to worry about later. It's being built right now with every small choice you make. Your choice today literally changes your blood sugar tomorrow. So the only question left is, which one are you going to change first?